And we're live. Hey, everybody, welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin Hippo, and I'm here today with my very special guest, Thrift Trader, or you might know him as Jason Deason. Everybody say hi to Jason.
What's up?
I'm trying to mute my chat because I always forget to do that. You'd think I'd not be an amateur, but... All right, Nathan is here. Hey, Sir Thrifts a Lot is here. Thrift Trader, oh, that's you. I'm just reading through the chat. Tracy Thrifts is here. Hey guys, welcome in. I have it on good authority that my mods will be here, but they may have been drinking, or at least one or two of them have. So we'll see how the chat goes tonight. So if you're new to the Hangin with the Hippos, if you're not familiar, if you follow Jason over here, this is an interview that takes place in 4 rounds, 5 if you count your questions at the end. I'll ask Jason 10 serious questions about his business and reselling, 10 fun and kind of silly trivia questions, 10 this or that. He gets to ask me 5 questions, and then you guys get the floor opened up for you guys to ask me and Jason both questions, anything at all.
Wait, hold up. Does that sound fair? You get to ask like 20 or 30 questions, and I only get to ask you 5.
It's absolutely fair because I kind of talk along with you and answer your questions also. So right. Holly is here. I did hear Holly. Oh, I'm gonna call her out. Holly's the one that had wine with dinner and maybe tipsy. So everybody be nice to her. All right, so we're just gonna jump on in. If you come in late, you guys can always catch this on the replay and see what you missed, but we're just going to jump on in. These interviews do tend to take a while, and time is money in our business, so I try to keep you guys not here too long. And if you're multitasking and listening or sharing Posh while you're listening, good for you. You guys know I'm always coaching you guys to learn how to multitask better and manage your time. Sydney wants to know if you're under your beard.
I'm here. I'm actually going tomorrow, going to get a haircut, going to get my beard trimmed.
Yes.
That way, you know, I don't look like a lumberjack in Vegas. So
he's getting his Vegas heritage. Yeah. Speaking of, 1 week from today, Jason, you and I will be together in person in the Cabana with Sydney, Colleen, Casey, Noelle, and several others. It's not far away. It's 1 week from today.
You guys are going to get to see my beautiful three colored tan, farmer's tan. So
your farmer's tan.
I'm 3 shades of tan.
All right. So the first question I always ask everyone is to just tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been reselling, how you got started, and whether or not you're full-time.
Yes, I am full-time. I've been a reseller for 13 years. Started on eBay, started with just men's neckties. That's how I got started. And then I branched out to men's clothing. I did only men's clothing for like 2 or 3 years. And then I branched out to men's and women's clothing. And then I got into shoes, men's and women's shoes. And then I got into electronics. And then I moved to storage units, which is literally anything and everything under the sun. And, you know, it's really kind of opened my eyes because I started selling books on Amazon because of it. I started selling electronics on Amazon, video games on Amazon, doing some retail arbitrage. You name it, anything under the sun that I can make $1 on, that's what I do.
Yeah, and this isn't your first time on the channel. The first time I had Jason on was when I was starting to think about doing shoes, and I had you on as like the shoe expert. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, it still rings true today. Actually, Casey Paris just made mention of it last week, I think, that there's tons of money in shoes. And it's really true. I mean, used shoes, it absolutely blows my mind the amount of money that people will pay for used shoes. And, you know, you could look at Tino, the Soul Advisor. You know, that guy's got a huge eBay shoe only business, and he's bringing in thousands and thousands of dollars every month because of it. I mean, it's absolutely insane. The average sale price of shoes is higher than clothing. Of course, the average shipping cost is a little higher than clothing, but not by much. I usually get between $8 and $10 is what it costs to ship a pair of shoes. And, you know, I mean, it's just, it makes for a better experience, in my opinion, on eBay if you get involved in shoes if you haven't already.
Yeah, and Sydney says I'm still afraid of them. I don't know that afraid was ever the right word. It's just that they're disgusting, and I have a problem with them. But I do sell them now, believe it or not, Jason. I just brought home some Justin Western cowboy boots last week, and I found I do touch them now, but I'm still a little weirded out. But I like money more than I don't like germs.
Oh, if you think shoes are gross, you should see some of the storage units I've bought.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh, you name it. You know, I'll keep it PG, but there's that. Well, we won't even go there.
I'll have to buy a hazmat suit when we start getting into the storage units.
Yeah.
Wear gloves. Honey, I wear four pairs. No, I'm kidding. Not that many. But I do double up when I touch shoes. I often touch them in the store and have to immediately hand sanitize. You know, not nothing I'm proud of, but I'm not ashamed to say I have a germ issue. We all have our crosses to bear. Cindy found some Justin boots too. All right, so number 2. What platforms do you sell on, and then which is your favorite and your least favorite, and why?
eBay, Amazon, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, and that's really about it. That's it right now, currently. I mean, I've been on Mercari in the past, and I've kind of put that aside. But I think my least favorite is probably Poshmark, only because I'm not very active there. I haven't cross-posted anything recently. I'm still selling things because I do have a virtual assistant that shares my items on a consistent basis. So I am still making sales there. It's just kind of slower. And my most favorite is probably eBay, because dealing with a lot of the items that I get out of storage units, a lot of it is going to be vintage or one of a kind, and things that are more collectible. And those just don't belong on Amazon. That's kind of eBay's marketplace. And so, of course, my favorite's going to be eBay. I generate the most money there.
Okay. Rhonda and Amelia might have to leave because of their internet. So, ladies, I hope you guys can catch the replay. Very loyal, longtime viewers of mine. Very nice ladies. Stark Raven Wild says go to TJ Maxx. I think that depends on your area. And Bill and David, Gnome and Frog, you guys saw on this channel before, can attest. They've been here, they visited me, and they went with me to Marshall, Ross, and TJ Maxx in our area. Even on clearance, the shoes in those stores are right at eBay prices. So there's no money to be made there for us. I do agree that Goodwill's gross. I do think you find really good shoes at yard sales. I think the ones at yard sales, just in my opinion, from what I find, you can say whether you agree or not, Jason, they just seem to be better kept, better taken care of. Sometimes they still have their boxes and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yard sales, you can find really good shoes at yard sales. I mean, personally, when I was in the shoe biz, I was finding cartloads of shoes at our Goodwill bins. And I mean, just cartloads. I'm talking about like women's fry boots, you name it, all at the Goodwill bins. I mean, I'd come home with 7 or 8 pair of Berkeys, you know.
Wow.
Like no big deal. I don't think it's the same these days, though. I think that Goodwill has wisened up a little bit and is culling the bins before it actually gets rolled off on the floor these days.
Yeah, they have an eBay store now, if you haven't heard.
Yeah.
And they're selling online. I haven't been to the bins in over a year. We are planning a trip. We're going to try to go this week before Vegas. If not, when I get back. My son wants to go. We have an agreement with him when he goes sourcing. Everything he finds, he gets half the profit. But he has to source it and he has to prep it for photos. He also helps me take photos. So he likes going to the bins because he's really motivated. He will really get in there and dig and get in there with the people and elbow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was kind of one of my favorite things, is just like making connections at the bins, making friends with people at the bins. And, you know, you start learning what they're looking for and they start learning what you're looking for. And we start looking for each other, because It gets wild and crazy in the bins. I mean, it's just elbows and teeth.
Elbows and teeth. Well, we haven't been. We used to go. It's a good place to get your feet wet. If you are just getting started and you have $20, you can go to the bins and get plenty to start yourself off with. It's basically what we did. Keith sold his own collectibles he didn't want, took our first 20 to the bins, and we did frequent there for a long time. But now we have more capital and we can kind of be more choosy and just go to 99-cent day and yard sales. But we did make friends, like you were saying. There was an older gentleman that would find all the electronics and bring them to us, all of them. He'd just bring them over. Here's a Wii. Here's a Xbox. We're like, okay, if you don't want it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he was pretty cool. So number 3, hi Colleen, I see you sneaking in there. Number 3, what item or category do you sell the most of?
It depends. It depends on what I've got in stock. Right now, I've got a crap ton of comic books, and I've been selling a crap ton of comic books. But, it really just depends. There's not one category that really stands out currently. I mean, my eBay currently looks like a massive yard sale. I mean, there's just a little bit of everything in there. And before I even did storage units, I mean, I was very particular about my eBay store being like all clothing and all shoes, or a mixture of both, just like clothing, shoes, and accessories, and keeping it really uniform and as little, like making it look as least like a yard sale as possible. But these days, I mean, the amount of stuff that I'm getting, there's no way. I mean, my eBay store looks like a yard sale. I've got a little bit of everything.
That's the way to do it, though. Everybody should absolutely diversify. Like you said at the beginning, if it'll make $1, you should grab it. What is your favorite item to sell? And then your least favorite?
I've dealt with clothing for so long that I would have to say that that's probably my least favorite thing to sell these days. I'll still sell it, but and my most favorite, I would have to say, is probably thus far has been comic books, mostly because some of the books that I have acquired have good value, and my wife and I sat down and we listed over 100 comic books in one day. So, I mean, without breaking a sweat, it was that easy. When you're dealing with a large lot of about the same thing, like comic books, you can knock them out of the park pretty quick and easy. So,
absolutely. Favorite place to source? I have a feeling I know what you're going to say.
Storage units.
Yep. What is your favorite task or job that's part of reselling, and then your least favorite?
I think my most favorite task would be mystery unboxing, because that's when you're unboxing a storage unit. It's literally like Christmas Day every single day. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get a box of dead rats, or if you're going to get, a box full of jewelry. So
dead rats.
Literally, I'm not lying.
Oh boy. Or, somebody's ashes. I saw that video.
Yeah, that could happen too.
And then what's your least favorite?
I think my least favorite would be, just the dump runs, I guess, because when you buy a storage unit, you get all good stuff, or all the stuff that's keepable, but you also get all the trash. And loading up the trash in the box truck and taking it to the dump and unloading it, and then paying for all that work you just did. Yeah, I mean, it's part of the business, but it's probably my least favorite.
I think it would be mine too. But at least if you had a box of dead rats, you're taking them to rat heaven.
Yeah. The final resting place.
Yeah, I think a dump would be a rat. Did you ever watch Charlotte's Web with Templeton at the fair?
I've seen it a few times, but it's been so long since I've seen it last that
It just makes me think of that, like a rat just eating everything in sight. So that would be a perfect resting place. Okay, number 7 is to share a bolo with us. And
okay.
then be on the lookout for if you guys aren't aware.
Well, I know that a lot of you are clothing resellers. So if you ever run across the brand East West Musical Instruments Company, definitely pick it up. They're pretty rare, to be honest with you, but I just sold a leather jacket from East West Musical Instruments Company in the middle of July for $860. And it's rare, and I was fortunate to find one. I probably would not have found one in the thrift store, but it's possible. It really is. I've heard of people finding them in the thrift store. It's rare.
East West Musical Instruments.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, David.
Oh. Just to give you an idea, it's they were in business between like in the 60s and the 70s, like a 10 to 12 year window. They catered towards musicians. To give you an example, if you ever see pictures of Elvis Presley wearing a silver leather jacket with flames on it, that was an East West Musical Instruments Company jacket.
Was it? I'm very familiar with that picture. Both of my parents were fanatical Elvis Presley fans.
Yeah, and so they catered towards musicians in that time period when they were open, and now it's just, they're all handmade, and of course they're no longer in business now. So that's what makes them so valuable.
That's really a cool bolo. All right, so let's go to the opposite side of the board and talk about a Nolo.
A Nolo, St. John's Bay. That's probably, I don't know. Let's see. Let's be real.
You know what's funny though? If we find St. John's Bay, new with tags only, for 99 cents, we pick them up and we sell them for a good amount. Like I remember Casey once telling Keith, how in the hell do you guys sell these for $25? And he's like, they're new with tags. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let me try again here. A Nolo. There's so many of them. I don't have one right off the top of my head, honestly. It's weird. I don't have one.
Okay. Well, I'll give one for you. Faded Glory.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Although I flipped that too. Depending on the way it looks, if it's unique enough, I'll grab it. And we had inherited, my friend retired. She gave us her entire inventory, and she had a ton of new tags. So I just listed it all at like $12 and it sold.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking of a Nolo that would be kind of not obvious. That's what I was looking for. But
I can't think of one that's not obvious either. Those really rare ones that you really shouldn't buy are the ones that you're going to get out of curiosity, or you're going to take a risk on. You get it home and you're like, crap, I shouldn't comp that.
I mean, the market is so the market is so saturated with Tommy Bahama shirts that I would almost say Tommy Bahama.
I would say so too if they're plain. Like the really big sizes and the ones with the really cool graphics are still, I wouldn't call them bolos. I would call them bread and butter or filler, sadly enough. But the plain ones, I wouldn't grab. Everybody and their brother has, there's 100 of those plain ones. All right, so number 9 is my favorite question of all time in this series to ask of the resellers. So we all know the old adage, do as I say, not as I do. We've all heard our parents say that. So what is something that you do that you would not advise other resellers to do, or something you don't do that other resellers should?
Hang on. Well, okay, here's one. I sell my gold after a little while. If I find gold in storage units, I'll sell it after a little while. What I would suggest others do is hold on to it as long as they can. Only because I think that the value of gold will go up, even more so than it is today at some point in the future. And I think that it'll be a much more valuable commodity than it is today. So I would suggest save it, hold on to it. I know Wade hoards his gold, and he's a smart man about it. But for me, it's part of my business model currently to cash it in when I get it, because I need the capital to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable too. When you get into storage units, and this is a good tip for everybody watching, I'm glad you said that. When you get into storage units, sometimes it's going to be more expensive, and you're going to need more capital up front and like bigger amounts all at once. It's not like going to the thrift store and picking 50 things that are $1 a piece or whatever. Sometimes if you see something in there that's worth it and you're bidding, you may end up paying several $100s for a unit. And then there's, you said, the dumping fees. If you have to rent the unit, if you don't have room at home until you go through it. So you do need more when you expand, when you grow, clearly you're going to need more capital. So if you have stuff that you should hold on to and you're selling for more capital to grow your business, I don't see a problem with that. But it's just like the nature. Like, you could start out with $20 at the bins, but if you eventually want to do wholesale or liquidation lots or storage units, you're going to need more money, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the key. And I mean, for me, I think it's just part of my business model right now. And I'm okay with it. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. But I would suggest people hold on to their gold as long as they can.
Okay, number 10. The best piece of advice you could give to other resellers, whether they're new or veterans.
Don't be afraid to try different things. Don't look at something don't look at selling on eBay as like specific categories like shoes and clothing and electronics, and don't look at it like that. Like, go in and just start, like, go to a yard sale and start looking at everything. Look up everything. You're going to learn something, okay? And if it has value, don't be afraid to buy it. Just because you sell in all clothing doesn't mean that you can't sell a VCR DVD combo. I mean, if there's money to be had, take a shot at it, and you'll learn along the way. Do your research. Make sure that you're not, buying what's going to end up being dead stock inventory, and try to buy things that are going to move within 3 months, if you can manage to do that. Put all of your effort into your higher dollar, higher end items first, and then, this is if you have a lot of things to resell. Get your higher dollar stuff up first, because it's going to recoup your capital the quickest. So
yeah, I absolutely agree with everything you said. I tell everyone on this channel all the time to get out of their comfort zone, go look at something new, try something new, buy something new, sell something new that you've never done before, because you'll be surprised. You may run into something that's going to be really profitable for you, that you really enjoy, and could replace something you're just doing to do because it's money. And then, like you said, the more profitable, like Keith and I consistently, I don't even like to call them death piles. We have money piles. We source a lot, but we list a lot. We do a lot of high volume. So, if I'm sitting down to do jeans, I make sure that my higher end jeans are coming out first. I put the bread and butter and fillers aside. And then if I ever have a day where I don't have like the luxury deluxe brands, then I can pull out those bread and butter and do those. So make sure that when you're organizing your death piles, you're putting, at the top, your most expensive, best items, and working your way down. So I like that advice. That's everything I've ever told anybody.
yeah, I think that the most important advice I could give anybody reselling would be when you're looking up an item and trying to decide whether to buy it to resell or not. There's a couple of things that you really want to look at. Okay, look at the number of active listings on eBay for that particular item. Look at the number of sold listings on eBay for that particular item. We know that eBay gives us 3 months of sold listings. So you take the number sold, divide it by 3, and you get the average number that sell per month. Okay. What you want to see is that number equaling or greater. Well, I say you want to see the number sold across 3 months equal or greater than the number that are active. That gives you an opportunity to sell it within 3 months, as long as you're priced around the same market, the market price. So
hey, look who popped in, Wade.
Wade's in here.
Wade's in here. Hey, Wade.
Yeah.
Welcome in. Thanks for popping in. I do agree. He's a fantastic guest. So that's really good advice for some business models. I just want to put this in here real quick. If you do follow Keith and I or Casey Paris and you are emulating the volume-based business model, the 3-month thing doesn't always work. You can get some used clothing that will take 6 months or more just to have the volume.
Sure.
But if you're not looking for volume-based and you're not trying to fill your inventory with those filler bread and butter items, you do want the ones that are going to go quicker. The only time you want a lot of inventory hanging around is if you're building an inventory or volume-based business.
Sure. I mean, yeah, there's definitely different models. I just know that one in particular, I used that model. I called it my 30-30 rule. I wanted to see 30% of listings selling within every 30 days. And I was actually selling between 40 and 50% of all of my inventory on eBay every single month. And I was making about $3,500 a month after fees every single month. This was in the middle of winter with only 500 to 600 active listings in clothing. So it was really killer. I felt like I was onto something. But of course, with clothing, it slows down in the summer as well. So
it absolutely does. And that's why you got a yard sale. We had 7 packages go out today from eBay, and only 1 was a piece of clothing. The rest was goodies we found at yard sales and some makeup that I've been listing, which I've just discussed. I actually had some leftovers. I don't know, Jason, if your wife does Ipsy or Birchbox subscriptions. For $10 a month, you get like 5 makeup items. And I was saving all the samples I didn't want. And I listed a bunch the other day and they're flying out the door. And I'm like, okay, so by the time I sell 2, I've paid for my box. So now I have free makeup for my face and I've made a profit. And I'm thinking, when I get back from Vegas, I might start actually looking into wholesale makeup, because it was super easy to list and photograph and it's like flying off the shelves.
Wow.
So that's a good example too, you guys. Sometimes if you're just experimenting or playing around, this was just something of my own I didn't want anymore. I was going to put in the store and I'm like, holy crap, this stuff is flying off the shelf. So when you're willing to, like Jason said, try new things and don't be afraid, you never know what you're going to discover. You never know what you're going to find out if you just stick with what you know. I actually canceled my Birchbox and Ipsy a month ago, Sid, because I was just getting so many items I wasn't using. It was like I was keeping 1 a month. Maybe once all these sell off, I'll resub. All right, Jason, we're done with the serious stuff. You ready to have fun?
Yeah.
All right, I got 10 trivia questions from me, and then you get a bonus one from Keith.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can already tell you I'm not going to know that one.
Yeah, his are always about nerd stuff. I think the only person that ever got Keith's right so far was Dominic.
That doesn't surprise me.
Okay, so number 1, we'll start easy. What is the capital of Oklahoma?
Oklahoma City.
Yep. Do you know how Oklahoma became known as the Sooner State?
That is a good question. Yes, because during the land run, the guys that were called Sooners actually cheated and were like they jumped the gun, so they staked their claims before the gunshot. So that's why they were called the Sooners.
Yep, exactly. Settlers who entered the unassigned lands before they were allowed to, but they still ended up with them. Number 3. What year did Storage Wars premiere?
Oh, God.
And you guys that are watching in the chat, feel free to play along. You can throw your answers up or your guesses up over there. And if Jason needs a lifeline or wants to cheat, you guys can help him.
I'm just going to go out on a whim here. Let's see. 2008.
No.
Is it earlier than that?
Later.
Later?
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. Ironic said A.
Holly says A. Holly had wine with dinner, so.
I'll take
1834.
I'll take Storage Wars for 500, Alex. Okay. Claudia says 2013, so that's what I'm going with.
Nope, sooner than that. Earlier than that.
Earlier than that? Okay, so between 08 and 13. So, okay, 2011.
Earlier.
2010.
2010. There you go. Winner.
Oh
Holly's correcting me. She did not have wine with dinner. She had wine.
I'm left with only one chicken strip from that chicken dinner.
It was December 1st, 2010, by the way, if anyone cared.
Okay.
Number 4, which Storage Wars ex-star who was fired, came out and publicly said that the show was staged? You can cheat if you have your phone, too.
I don't want to. I'm trying to think here. I think it was... had to have been Hester.
Yes. Wow. David Hester is the correct answer.
Had to have been Hester.
It was him. All right. Somebody else in there knew it too. It was not Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
Why do auctioneers speak so quickly?
Why? I don't know. I would have to say just to fill in the space, keep action going. I don't know.
I'm going to read you exactly what I Googled because it's actually interesting.
Okay.
They don't just talk fast. The chant they do is in a rhythmic monotone. It is to lull the onlookers into a conditioned pattern of call and response as if they were playing a game of Simon Says. The speed is also intended to give the buyers a sense of urgency.
Makes a lot of sense.
So it kind of like lulls them into a, he's talking, I've got a bid, like Simon Says kind of thing, and then it gives them that urgency.
Yeah, and they are actually saying things when they are chanting. You know, the auctioneer is saying, like, I've got 20, who to give me 25, who's going to pay 25, that's what they do, who to give me 25.
Yeah, I don't remember which show it was on, but I saw something on a Discovery Channel. They had an auctioneer on, and he slowed it down to tell us what he actually said. And it was they actually say, like, who's going to give me 25? I want 25. Who wants this car? Let's get this car. They actually like say stuff, but they've been trained. So that brings me to my next question. True or false? To become an auctioneer, you must attend auction school.
It depends on the state you live in. It's a state-by-state basis. I know here in Oklahoma, if you do online auctions, you don't have to have an auctioneer's license. But to get an auctioneer's license, I believe that you do have to go through a couple of classes in order to obtain it.
Yep. There's like a gray line, but it is actually called auction school.
Auction school.
Auction school. I want to go to ninja school. If they have auction school, they might have ninja school. Who knows?
Quite possible.
All right, so I Googled the top 10 best-selling video games of all time, and I pulled up the article by IGN, if you're familiar with them.
Informer Game Magazine?
Yes, very reputable. So I have the top 10 selling video games of all time. I just want you to be able to name 5.
Oh, God, I can't. Top 10 highest selling games?
Yes, like most money of all time.
Can't do it. I tap out.
Tap out?
I tap out.
You want me to tell you what they were?
This is something that I have zero knowledge in, but I guarantee you if I ever saw it, I would know it immediately because I'd look it up.
Zelda's not on there. Good guess, though.
Yeah, that's the only one that I would guess is one of the stupid rare Zelda games. Is Pokemon on there?
Yes.
Okay.
45 million.
$45 million Pokemon game?
No, that's how much it's pulled in.
Wow.
So
Super Mario Brothers?
Yep.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I don't see it.
Dang. How about
Minecraft? We see in the chat that is on there.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Let's do Call of Duty.
No.
What's wrong?
No Halo either, or no Miss Pac-Man.
Oh, man. Let me think. There was another one that I was going to guess.
There's a really popular game that you guys are missing.
Donkey Kong?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
A controversial game that gets banned in some places.
Controversial game. It's banned in some places. Grand Theft Auto?
Yep. There you go.
Yes.
GTA for the win. I love playing GTA. So fun. Grand Theft Auto. Yep. All right. So you got 4. You were going to top out and you got 4. Look at that.
Look at there.
All right. The other ones were Tetris, Wii Sports, Player Unknown's Battlegrounds, Mario Kart, Wii Sports, and Diablo.
Diablo.
Yes. That was the lowest one at 30 million. The biggest one was Tetris at 500 million.
Okay, so this is number of games sold.
No, this is how much. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was how much money it had made.
Oh, $30 million. Okay, how much money it made. Okay. I thought we meant, see, when we first started this question, I thought we meant like how much a single game had sold for, like the top 10 most expensive games.
Oh, no, the most best-selling of all time.
Gotcha.
You still did good. You tapped out and then you got 4.
Yeah, I figured it out after a while.
Hey, Danny, I'm glad you popped in to say hi. I like to see it. I like to see you in the chat. Okay, number 8, the release date of the original Nintendo.
Okay. 1982?
Close.
Is it 83?
Yes.
Okay.
In 83, it came out with their family computer, and then in 1985, the release came in North America of the more common one we're used to seeing, the old gray one that came with Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
My favorite game on the original Nintendo was Friday the 13th.
Never played it.
I mean, even back then, I was like, what, 11 or 12? I was already super in love with horror movies and horror novels. Friday the 13th was one of my favorite franchises. And the game, I actually had a modulation of it on my computer where you can play the old games. And I'm like, now, like, what the heck? What's this? It was bad. Like, you just ran around this lake and he would show up with this big knife and these wolves would, like, make these horrible, like, woo! But I would play that. I loved Super Mario Brothers too, and I beat it, and I knew all the secret places and stuff. But I loved that Friday the 13th, and I have some really fond memories of my mom playing that with me.
Oh, that's awesome. I actually just sold an original NES top loader with 56 games and 4 controllers. I just sold it.
I am aware of that. That's why I asked this question.
Nice.
I'm a little bit of a private detective stalker when I get people's questions together.
You're ornery.
I am. I thought, well, he sold a Nintendo. Let's see if he knows when they first came out. My other favorite game was RC Pro Am. That was fun too. Okay, so you were born on June 9th, which makes you a Gemini.
Nope, June 6th, but you're close.
Oh, somebody's going to take my private detective badge. But you're still a Gemini.
Yeah.
So there is a stereotypical personality trait that goes with Gemini that is actually, for the most part, untrue, and it's very kind of rude and unfair. Do you know what it is?
That we're flighty?
No, it's worse than that. My dad was a Gemini, and I remember people saying Gemini.
That we're double-faced, pretty much?
Yes.
That we have two sides?
Yep, unreliable. Well, I guess the flighty, unreliable. Unreliable and two-faced.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my dad was a Gemini, and he was like the most reliable person in the world, and he was honest to a fault. So to be fair,
I am so reliable that I reminded Star that we were supposed to do this last week. and I'm so reliable that I was waiting yesterday for her to message me around 6:30, 6:45 because I forgot what day it was.
Yeah, and to be fair, I actually thought Jason and I scheduled for tonight. I had somebody else scheduled last week who backed out on me. And then I got a really bad migraine on Tuesday, and I'm lying in bed thinking, thank God. And I'm still not going to tell y'all who it was. I don't want anybody mad at anybody, and they'll be on eventually. They had a really good family reason to back out. But I was laying in bed like, oh, I'm so glad, because I get like migraines that are detrimental. Jason's like, are we still doing it? And I'm like, no, it's next week. And he's like, no, look up at your text. And I'm like, well, I'm glad that the other person backed out. We could have had 2 people on, right? Stubborn. No, stubborn is actually a good trait that goes along with Tauruses, which is what I am.
No, I think my worst personality trait is I'm a huge procrastinator. I think that's probably my worst trait.
Well, I was going to be fair and tell you the one thing they say about Taurus that I don't think, I'm a Taurus, I don't think it's true at all. Tauruses are allegedly lazy. And anyone who knows anything about me knows that's absolutely untrue. Yeah. For me, maybe there are some lazy Tauruses, but I am stubborn. I'm very stubborn. I'm also very forgetful, and I do put too much on my plate sometimes, so I will write incorrect things in my bullet journal. Writing you on the wrong day. I've written doctor's appointments on the wrong day and showed up, and they're like, your appointment isn't until tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm here. Can she see me? And I'll even show them. I wrote it in my appointment book wrong again.
That's funny. All
right. Am I a cusp? No, I'm May 9th. I am a 100% Taurus. All right. Number 10 and your last trivia.
Okay.
True or false? Casinos pump extra oxygen into the vents to keep their patrons awake.
That is so false.
It is 100% true.
What?
It is 100% true.
They pump extra oxygen into the vents?
Yes. Well, number one, they have no clocks or windows anywhere in the casinos, so no one knows what time of day it is.
That. Yeah.
But they put the vents that blow the air in, they put extra oxygen in them to make people feel more awake, more aware, more alive.
Well, it works.
It does, because when you're in Vegas, you don't sleep. You never know what time it is. It's unreal.
Yeah. It's just a dark hole with flashing lights and bells.
But in one day there, it can feel like a week, but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
It just feels like, oh, this is going on forever. You're like in a whole different world with a different sense of time.
We're going to be hanging out in less than a week in a great big casino, just like huge, like a mile-long casino.
Yep. My son, Thrifty Christie, is May 11th, and he's not lazy. He's 15, and he gets up at 6:30 in the morning every Saturday and goes sourcing with us on yard sales. He goes to the Goodwills. He takes photos. He cleans. He cooks. He's a good kid. He's not lazy, but I instilled my work ethic in my kid. All right, you got Keith's question.
Oh boy. Here, let me get my thinking cap on. Wow. All right. I'm ready.
All right. Name the original 6 members of the Sinister Six. And if you need help, I'll give you a little bit. The Sinister Six is a group of 6 villains in Spider-Man's world. They're like his villains.
Yeah, just because I sell comics doesn't mean I read them. Don't know, but I'm going to Google this.
Okay, you Google. I feel like I missed something in the chat. I don't remember if he was saying.
All right, I got it. Wait.
Prince Harry doesn't like
Sandman, Dr. Octopus, Kraven the Hunter, Electro, Green Goblin.
No.
No?
You were right until Green Goblin. So you got Dr. Octopus, Sandman, and you said Kraven?
Yeah.
Wait, for the Sinister Six?
Yes.
I think the Green Goblin was technically on there.
Well, that's not what Keith wrote. My son just said he thinks the Green Goblin was, but
According to Wikipedia, it is, but it doesn't have to be.
there's 3 more.
Mysterio,
Yep.
Vulture,
Yep.
and Electro.
Yep. That's all 6.
Bingo.
I honestly think Green Goblin came in later from what I can even remember.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
If you read it on the internet, it must be true. All right. The this or that round has rules. You can't say neither, and you can't say both. You have to pick one or the other. And I like people to just go with their first initial gut reaction, so we're just going to go through it real fast.
So either neither or, okay.
You have to pick one or the other. You have to.
All right.
You ready?
Yes.
An online or an in-person storage auction?
In person.
Silent or live video auction?
Live.
Storage unit or dumpster dive?
Storage unit.
Estate sale or yard sale?
Yard sale.
Beer or mixed drink?
Mixed drink.
YouTube or eBay?
YouTube.
Listing platform or auction?
Okay. Say that again.
Listing platform like selling on eBay or doing an auction?
Auction.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Gamble or go see the town?
Gamble.
And movie theater or rent it or stream it at home?
Rent or stream at home. I fall asleep in theaters.
I just think it's, I don't know. I'll go for certain ones. That was the last one of mine. Big events like Marvel movies. But for the most part, I like to be able to pause if I have to pee. I like to be able to vape and get snacks and drinks. I'm more comfortable at home.
So
All right.
let me just say this. Now, the question, eBay or YouTube, the reason why I picked YouTube was because I enjoy it. I enjoy editing videos. I enjoy posting videos. It doesn't make me nearly as much as eBay does, but it's more enjoyable to me.
1000% agree. My YouTube doesn't hold a candle to my reselling income, but I enjoy YouTube more.
Yeah.
It's fun. I love interacting with people in the chat. I love answering. I like teaching too. I love to teach people and help people. But I figured that would be a hard one to answer. All right, you got one more from Keith.
Okay.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Good choice. All right, mine are done. If you got your 5, if you're ready.
Let me think here.
And those of you that are here watching live, you can start throwing up your questions now as well. For me, for Jason, about reselling,
All right.
whatever you guys want. Put them up. We'll answer them. And then I'll answer his 5 as well.
Is there anything that Keith does in public that embarrasses you?
1000% no.
Nothing at all.
No.
That's good.
Now flip the question around.
I embarrass the heck out of my wife on a consistent basis.
I sing and dance at the grocery store like loud. And he's always, are you serious? Are you serious?
That's great. What is your biggest fear?
Spiders.
Spiders?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
They're like
I'm not a big fan of spiders either.
They're like evil demons from hell on 8 legs of evil. They're terrible.
It's funny. What is your favorite thing you own and why?
Oh my gosh, my favorite thing I own? It would have to be my phone, because on my phone I can access everything I love. I read books that I check out from the library and buy off Amazon on my phone. I can watch movies on my phone. I can talk to my friends on my phone. So every kind of thing that I do for business and personal life, everything I enjoy, it's all right there on my phone.
Sounds good to me. Where do you hope to be 5 years from now, or 10 or 15 years from now?
Well, hopefully within 5 years, I would think Keith would be home. We're getting pretty close to him quitting his job.
Good.
We actually have a 3-year plan to move to Florida. So in 5 years, I would hope that we would be down there, 100% established already, and still working for ourselves and running a reselling business, whatever that's going to entail, whatever's available down there, whether it's like you doing a little bit of everything or wholesale, whatever.
Okay. One more, I guess. If money was no object, what would you buy?
I would buy the hotel, the Overlook Hotel where The Shining was.
Nice. Nice.
I had to think if Stephen King's house was on the market, but I don't think it is. Well, no, I mean, it's not. He still lives there, but if in the future, I don't want him to ever die, but I would buy his house too. It has pink gargoyles out front. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. So just out of curiosity, why? Why would you buy that hotel?
The Shining is one of my favorite books by Stephen King. It's a great movie. It's an iconic part of pop culture. Well, horror movie or horror pop culture, I guess. It would just be cool to own.
Oh, yeah.
It's allegedly really haunted too. So,
have you seen the YouTube video titled "The Shining" starring Jim Carrey?
no, I'm gonna write that down and look at it tonight.
I don't think it is Jim Carrey, but You know what? At that time in the movie, it does definitely look like Jim Carrey with longer hair, and it makes you not trust your eyes or your own judgment when you're trying to decide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it'd be cool. Like, you know, in a perfect world, if I owned something like that, I don't know if you've seen The Shining or how big that hotel is. All my friends could live with me there. We could all have like our own wing. It would be like a whole own house to yourself.
Wow.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Except for the part, you know, that it's miles and miles and miles away from anywhere. It's isolated. And in the book, they had to go miles in the snow to get help. It's like up way up and it's isolated. So maybe on second thought.
Yeah, that would be bad. That would be bad. If you ever needed help, it would be difficult for anyone to reach you.
Yes, and I hate cold and I hate snow. You guys go ahead and throw your questions up if you have them. I saw one up here. Someone asked, how many platforms do you sell on? I'm going to count mine up. Jason can answer.
I sell on Amazon, eBay, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace. Those are really the big four.
We got eBay, Amazon, Poshmark, Bonanza, Macari, Facebook, Craigslist, and a couple others that Keith does.
Wow. You do all right on Bonanza?
No, not at all. I always tell people though, it's you just set it up and you leave it. That's it.
Yeah.
It takes seconds to sync it to your eBay, and then you walk away, and that's it. And we'll make one sale every couple of months, but it's one sale every couple of months we didn't make on eBay. So
yeah.
No Bonanza. Why not? It's a no-brainer. It takes literal seconds to set up. You walk away. Once a year, they remind you to sign it. That's it. Holly, you cannot be Jack Nicholson.
Vicky Vault says, do I do it all myself or do I have help? For the most part, I do it myself. Jessica takes a lot of pictures for me. I draft up the listings to where all they need is photographs, and she does help me with shipping. Like I'll pull and pack, and I'll hand her the package and be like, "Here, weigh it, put the dimensions in, print out the label." But other than that, I mean, yes, as far as hauling the storage units home, she helps me go through the stuff, and because she enjoys it, she likes it just as much as I do. So, but loading the storage unit up. I get help from another reseller buddy of mine, Philip, occasionally doing that. But yeah, I do a lot of it by myself.
Wow. And you have another question that's kind of along the same lines, I guess. Does she help you source?
Well, not right now. She doesn't. Her and I have been discussing after Las Vegas. I'm going to send her with just a couple $100 to start sourcing books for Amazon. And she already kind of knows what to look for, and as far as while scanning books. So she's going to start sourcing books for Amazon, and we're going to build up an Amazon book business by doing it.
I don't think we have the patience. We've talked about books, but when I talk to Jamie Pace and when I hears how he speaks English, and I don't, when I hear what he does to find his books, that's a lot. Like he says he'll sit and scan at a Goodwill for 4 hours and find 2 good books.
2 good books worth what though?
Worth $200 a piece or something, but
4 hours, $200.
I know, but Jesus Christ, scanning for 2 hours. I think Keith would have the patience for that. Like once he does quit his job, and joins me, maybe I'll be sending him out for books. You know.
Do you like going fishing, Star?
No.
There's your answer.
No. I did try it a couple of times with my kid's dad when I was still married to him, So, well, actually, the answer is yes and no. I liked the part about fishing that you're referring to with patience. I like just sitting in a boat or on the edge of a thing with my feet in the water and being outside in nature and the quiet, and you could just think.
Yeah.
I didn't like the worms, and whenever we catch the caught and release, and I didn't like taking them off the hook. I felt like I was a horrible person, and I was doing an awful thing to a living. I don't like taking them off the hook or the worms.
Oh,
Like
that's
just
all
sitting
right.
there and like if we, Vegas is fun and all, but my ideal getaway, honestly, would either be like in a beach house away from the world or a cabin in the woods away from the entire world on a lake, and just like a week with absolutely no tech, no YouTube, no eBay, no Facebook, no tech, nothing, no contact with people, just a week in the quiet. That would be like ideal for me.
Yeah. I think that's probably one of my most favorite ways of spending summertime is at the lake. I enjoy camping. It's very relaxing to me. There's nothing better than it.
Yeah, and I think sometimes um, it's good to unplug, but I don't think we ever get to, especially once you're on YouTube. You just don't ever get to unplug. But I think sometimes like about just saying I'm out for a week and I'm not even going to take my phone. I just want to be away from everybody. No offense, but you know what I mean. It's like constant technology all day long, every day, all these different platforms and social media. Sometimes you just want peace and quiet.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So what does your schedule between now and Vegas look like?
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm listing like double a day on eBay right now just to get them up before we go and it goes on vacation. So I'm bearing down I'm listing double on eBay, but my son's helping me with the photos. So it's not like I have to double photo, I just have to double list. I'm trying to pre-record like 5 videos to have them scheduled for every day while I'm there.
I gotcha. Yeah, I should probably consider doing the same.
I don't know if I'm going to get around to it though, because I still got the normal, like I have 2 haul videos this week. I'm going to do a third if that box I told you about comes in. Plus doubling down on eBay. I'm trying to double down on Posh as far as listing, not sharing so much. Do my normal amount, but like I want to get more listings everywhere before we go, because that vacation mode and that extended handling time kills you.
Yeah. Well, I think is that what you're planning on doing is just leaving your store off of vacation and just increasing your handling time?
No, we do both. So we put it on the vacation mode with the message for folks that just says something cute like, hey, we're on vacation. We'll ship this as soon as we get back. And then we also change the handling time.
Okay. What's up, Turtle Trader? Boomer Sooner, buddy.
Hey, Turtle Trader. And for those of you that are watching, that is an important thing to know, because there was actually a post about this in our Facebook group very recently. Someone really got dinged for it. Putting your store on vacation mode does not change the handling time. So even if you're in vacation mode, if you have next day shipping or same day shipping, you're still expected to ship within that time. So whatever's purchased while you're gone, when you get back, you're going to have all those dings. And eBay's not going to be too happy to take them off for you, because somehow they expect you to know, hey, we have vacation mode, but it doesn't really put your store on vacation mode. You got to change your own handling time. And one of our members had recently dealt with that. So you guys, it's important that you do both.
Well, what's the point of vacation mode if it doesn't automatically change your handling time and stuff for you?
I think it's just because it says this seller's on vacation and it sends them a message if they buy that you can personalize. Have you
ever seen, like, what's the word I'm looking for? A dip in sales because you are on vacation?
Yeah, I mean, but our handling time's put out too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It took us 2 weeks to recover from Vegas last year. And then when we really started booming again and fourth quarter hit and we were banging it out, we went to Florida for a week and then had to come back up again. It really hurts the store, but
I'm honestly considering not putting vacation mode on, just changing my handling times to about like 8 days, because eBay will flag that handling time on the listing. The seller has extended handling times. And if someone buys, I can always just message them and say, hey, we're in Vegas. We'll be back in a few short days. Do you mind waiting? And if they say yes, cool. If they say no, refund, I could say cool again. So
yeah, that's basically what the vacation mode does, but it does it. It's like an automatic, it does it for you.
yeah,
It sends a message out, and I'm all about auto, whatever I can auto.
sure.
Um,
I'm just afraid that vacation mode also like decreases your visibility in search rankings.
it might. Maybe this year we'll try different. Like, I mean, I can almost guarantee you 1,000% having 8-day, 10-day handling time is not helping anybody do anything.
Right.
I'm sure that hurts you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'll absolutely hurt. Did he shave his head to look like Scott? No, I did not. I have hair. Thank you.
Hair. He's got hair. You guys, if you have any more questions, quickly put them in and we'll try to answer them for you before we take off. I don't want anyone to miss out on asking anything you want to know. Also, show of hands. Who's in the chat going to Vegas? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I'd like to know too. Yeah, let's see. Today's Tuesday. I've got tomorrow's really kind of my last whatever I need to get done day. Actually, tomorrow I'm going. Like I said, I'm going to go get a haircut, and I'm going to get my beard trimmed, and then Thursday and Friday, I've got yard sales. Saturday, I'm in a wedding. Sunday, I'm packing, and Monday morning at 5:30 a.m. I leave Oklahoma City, Vegas bound.
That's a really busy week. I was going to dye my hair purple, so I may still do that.
Were you really?
Yeah, I really wanted to have my hair purple before I went to Vegas.
Have you seen what Jessica just dyed her hair purple? All of it.
Oh, copycat.
She just did it.
Yeah, I really was planning on it. I probably still will. I said probably like in May to Keith, I'm going to go do my hair purple for Vegas because purple's my favorite color. And if you haven't noticed, our branding on the Hippo Hut and Flippin Hippos across the YouTube channel, everything is purple.
Yeah.
I was just going to do like the Manic Panic because it'll wash out or whatever if I don't like it. I'll probably still do it. So I'm going to dye my hair purple, and I still have to paint my toes purple. So when I'm in the cabana, I have purple toes. Such a girl sometimes. I'm really not, though. I'm like a tomboy. I live in jeans and a T-shirt. But when you go on vacation, it's like something kicks in that just is like, do you remember that you are a girl? I'm like, oh, yeah, I am. Let me pack a nice shirt and paint my toes. Yeah, we got yard sales this weekend. I already got my hair cut. It just looks really flat because it's hot here.
Yeah, I got up to 100 degrees here today.
It's just really, it's humid here too. It's like you take a shower and if you walk outside, you already need another shower. I hate humidity.
Tracy said nothing wrong with the baldies, but Jason hasn't taken that leap yet. The only time I'll go bald is if I go bald naturally, and I know for a fact that's not going to work, or that's not going to happen. So I'm gray already. I'm 100% gray, like almost all gray, and I'm only 34 years old. But
wow.
but I'll have a full head of hair the rest of my life.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you something. I'll tell you two things. My dad's mom, my grandma, she went gray by the time she was 20. She dyed her hair black her whole life. That was her natural color. And I have like 3 I'm 42, 41. I'm aging myself here, Jason. I'm 41 and I have like 3 right here, right? Keith is only 30 and he's got almost salt and pepper. You remember how his hair is dark brown? He's going to hate me for putting this out on YouTube. But if you all see him in person, you're going to see it. He's got so much gray in there. It's like salt and pepper now.
I'm going to give him such a hard time because I can. Because look at this. I mean, I'm serious. Like, it's almost all gray.
It really is.
Yeah. So I'm going to give him an extremely hard time because I can. Because I feel his pain.
I really have always thought that gray hair wasn't really about age. It's hereditary. I mean, some people never go gray.
It is hereditary. My grandfather was a full head of gray by the time he was 40, which I'm hoping I have the rest of his genes too, because the guy's 80 years old, still mowing his yard, driving around, still as sharp as a tack. So I hope I've got the rest of his genes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Keith's grandfather is the same. He's like almost 80. He comes and mows our lawn for us just for something to do. Yeah. He fixes cars. He gets under, he's more limber. Well, I mean, I have a disability, but he's better off than I am. Like, he gets around better than I do. Real spry, real active, and he eats so much flippin' junk food, and he just eats and eats and eats, but because he's so active, he's thin.
Yeah.
I've seen him eat like 6 donuts, and then he gets up and he goes for a walk and he mows 5 lawns. He's like crazy. He's amazing for 80, but
yeah, that's wild. Love my papa. Yeah. He's definitely my sidekick.
That's awesome. All right, I don't see any more questions popping up, so I did forget to put Jason's information in the description box because apparently I can't even remember who I scheduled with. I think the closer we're getting to Vegas, the more forgetful I'm getting and the more I'm making mistakes.
Oh, yeah. You guys will be fortunate if I don't forget my pants in Vegas. So,
well, let's hope you don't. You might have to borrow Wade's chicken ramen.
That's great.
All right. Forgetful. When this goes up, when it finally posts to YouTube for the replay, I will put, what do you want in there? Your YouTube channel, your Facebook group, your Instagram?
You can just do the YouTube channel and the Facebook group. That's fine.
All right, I'll put those down there. You guys should be following Jason if you are interested or already doing storage units. I will tell you, if you're one of my followers, he's going to be completely different for you because I focus on thrifting and plush and jeans and stuff like that. I do a lot of organization and cooking. I'm a girl. But if you are thinking about branching out into something different, I would definitely watch Jason. You can learn a lot from his channels. Channels? Like you have more than one? His channel. So I'll put his channel. I'm about to be naked. It's hot. Not a loss for train of thought. I'll put those down there. So just make sure you go over, give them a peek, give them a subscribe, join his group. The link to our Facebook is already in the description. So if you're not part of our Facebook group, join it. It's a great group full of really positive people. People that don't complain about my phone being on during my shows. You know how many people complain about that? I'm like, get over it. It's like, why are you mad about my cha-chings, bro? Like this video too before you leave. If you like the video, it does help it go up in the algorithms on YouTube. Yes. More people will see it. And I'm really think it's important for this video to be seen by more people because this is so different from my normal fare, my normal content.
Yep.
Jason, other than Donatella, I've never really had storage unit people on here.
You had Wade on this channel yet?
Not yet.
Well, you need to give that dude a call.
I'm going to corner him in Vegas, ply him with alcohol.
That'll work.
And then write a date on the back of one of my business cards and say, don't forget.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
That'll work. I'm going to do the same to Katie and Vicky, too, because I want them.
Yeah, that's one pair that wouldn't be upset if I didn't bring pants to Vegas because they have No Pants Friday all the time.
Yeah, they don't like pants.
They don't care.
Crazy.
No, pants or no pants, show up. That's all they want.
I absolutely love them. They are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I got to get Wade and Katie and Vicky. Absolutely. I'll just ply them with alcohol. They'll say yes. And then when we're all sober and back home, I'll be like, you can't back out now. I already told all my viewers.
Ooh.
It's the way to do it.
That's a
So yeah, like this video, help it be seen. We just got a dislike since I said something snotty about my phone. That's coincidental, isn't it?
F pants. That's funny.
What? No pants? F pants.
Yeah.
All right. You guys can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin' Hippos across all social media. Join our Facebook group if you're not in it. Give the video a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. It still helps the video be seen. So we appreciate those too. And again, I'll put Jason's info in the description box. You can always come back later and get it. And I have to get up to turn the video off. So I will get up to turn the video off. I'm going to let Jason talk to you guys. He can leave one last word of wisdom or whatever he wants to do. And when you're ready for me to click it off live, just say bye and I'll know to do it.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay? Bye, guys.
Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you, Star, for having me. It was a blast. She riddled me with questions. My brain is fried. I'm ready for Vegas. And Star, I guess we're going to have to catch a couple drinks together. It's going to be a good time. I'm ready for it. Absolutely. Guys, if you haven't thought about coming to Vegas for eBay Open, think about it next year. It's a lot of fun. It really is. But anyways, guys, I'm not going to keep you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, keep on picking that trash, making that cash. See y'all.